Subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. We're just rolling these, apparently. Torzsi returns a top 20 player on the list for a second time in his career, improving from 20th in 2024 to a modest climb to 17. Placement stems from primarily his contribution towards MAU's frequent title contending runs across the year. Torzsi accrued 4 EVPs, exceptionally valuable player, including one for Cologne after pushing his team to runner-up at the landmark event. Torzsi's enjoyed it. Dude, that was actually, oh man. I hate how predictable that Cologne event was, in the sense that as soon as MAUs did it finally, how hard they collapsed the next day. You could literally see it too, like watching that game. Who was MAUs playing in the Cologne final? Was it Spirit? Yeah, man. I just remember like seeing like the game just like from MAUs looking like it never got going. You know what I mean? No, that's what I'm saying is they finally got over that vitality hurdle in the semis, and you could see how much it meant to them. And they were saying the right things after those interviews, man. But everybody, I don't know. That was tough. That was, yeah, it's a tough one. Most of his success on international rosters, his career, Ed roots in Hungary, local scene. I'm just kind of, this is like the history of him. V4, dude. MAUs NXT. That's cool. I knew he came from NXT. I mean, that whole lineup pretty much did. How crazy is that, dude? Let's look at his stats for the year, actually. Man, he was trying in Kato, man. He didn't even get a chance. Holy fuck. That's a big one. I do feel like Torzsi, it's so obvious when he's having a good game for MAUs. That's going to be, I wonder if they're going to make any changes when I see stuff like this. Like, obviously, you can't move Torzsi. Like, but what's funny is there's going to be people on MAUs that might be above him, so it's like, and by might be, I mean they will. I don't know, who would you guys say is the best player in MAUs this season, chat? Who would you guys pick? If you guys had to pick your favorite player on MAUs this season, or not favorite, sorry, the best player, who would you have? God, man, isn't it crazy that Shuei was on MAUs to start this year and was IGLing? Spink's the most consistent? Probably. Spink's had some crazy games for them too. Dude, it actually feels like a fever dream that we started this season with like looking to MAUs being like in contention, and they also like had a terrible Kato immediately. Like, look at this, dude. Like, this is actually like an insane run out of them. Like, can we talk about that? Doesn't this year almost feel like a failure of a year for MAUs too? Like, am I the only one? Like, it feel like an academy player standing at Kato. What was his name? I remember. You're right. It's a failure because we were hoping for a step forward. Yeah. No, you're not playing for a second or third or fourth. You're not, but damn. It's just like, these are such strong results, you know? Sunshine and leadership didn't immediately net dividends. Zellick standing in as they notched another last place exit in Kato. Yeah, that's crazy because they would look like, dude, they went out and then they just brought it, Brolin IGL, full roster, win. God, dude, this actually feels so long ago when I'm reading through this. Now I'm thinking about Torzsi in playoffs and how that second map where he was like just doing everything and it wasn't even close. How would you guys rate Torzsi? Would you guys say he had a better year than Nico? Now that we're kind of doing this list, we can have that kind of discussion. I think he did. I think so far, this is why I appreciate HLTV doing this and not me, because I appreciate how much is going into this, like given the history of the team and stuff, and like kind of explaining the reasoning, even if you don't agree with it. Makes it as one of the only 13 players that have 4 more exceptionally valuable player awards. All 4 those odds came as MAUs made a grand final. Meanwhile, the Hungarian was a key part of pushing his team forward at 4 of 5 best results of the year. Those 4 peaks were in Super Elite Cologne, or one with the Super Elite in Cologne helped create a body of work that was hard for players below to overcome them. Yeah, I mean, team results, and when MAUs did well, is Torzsi was in the driver's seat, you know? Torzsi and MAUs' sample is more difficult than most of the pack. 63% of his matches were against top 10 teams versus an average. Dude, that's crazy. See, that's that shit that I love from HLTV. This, like right here. 63% of his matches were against top 10 teams versus an average of 41.4% in our list of 120 relevant players. That is, bro, they're just punching a brick wall all the time. While 40% of his maps were at elite events, average of 20%. Dude, they just were, yeah, like, Jesus. God damn, dude, that's... Jesus Christ. They really were just like running into a brick wall over and over and over again. The Hungarian played nearly as many maps against Vitality as the average player played against top 5 opposition. Bro's having nightmares of fucking Apex just fucking yapping. That's nuts, man. That's absolutely incredible. This is crucial context behind Torzsi's worst individual figures, such as his 1.07 overall, 1.02 in playoffs, and 1.0 against top 5, 0.91 against Vitality, but he can only be forgiven so much, and those individual figures did cost him head-to-heads at the last as the list went on, as did a poor record at majors. Look at this. There you go. Point 0.9 grand final speaks to while torzsi could get them to the championship, he could not make the last step in granted team performance's quadra EVP effort. Therefore, he halted at 17th. torzsi was pleased with his improved playlist in top 20, but recognized that he could have done more. It feels good to move up to 17th place, see some improvements, but on the other hand, I'm a little bit disappointed because I feel like I'm doing pretty good in the first 8 months of the year. In the last 2 tournaments, I couldn't show my best performance, and it cost us a few spots on the list. And then, hey, well, there you go. torzsi opted for a fl0m face for his predictions, selecting countryman Miles NXT prospect Zelix, whom he previously picked in 2024. 17-year-old has averaged an impressive 1.13 from the academy side and already got a taste of top-tier land in the year, was standing in for the main at Kato. That's cool, man. I always appreciate them, giving the nod to their fellow peeps from their country. I think that's cool. Do I think Kyosuke makes it? He should. I think they released the criteria, right? I don't know. I haven't looked at the criteria. I mean, the thing is he's played not even half the maps, dude. And the other part is in the second half of the season, they had strong-ish results, but they didn't win. And at the major, they fell kind of flat. I don't know. It kind of depends. This is why I'm bad at these lists. This is why, if you're going to do lists like HLTV, you really have to have, a system of, how you value things. But me, I'm just eyeballing it, dude. Honestly, Kyosuke probably top 20 player in the world right now. Yes. Do I think he'll be in HLTV's top 20? I don't know. That's the tricky part. But regardless, back to torzsi before I get too distracted. I think the most jarring these stats actually give me so much respect because that's not just torzsi, but these stats right here, guys, are crazy. That's crazy, man. 63% of his matches were versus top 10 teams when everybody else had a 41%, average versus top 10 teams. Then 40% of his matches were at elite events while everybody's at 20. 38, he basically doubled everybody's they played twice as many hard matches against the very best teams in the world. He played Vitality as much as these players played top 5 teams. I definitely agree with the take that somebody said we were expecting to see Mouse maybe start lifting trophies and take the step, and this moment probably kind of gave a glimpse of that. But also, let's zoom in on this a little bit and let's not forget how strong of a team Mouse is. You know what I mean? I think it's and I'm saying this less at you, chat, and more at myself. Crazy, man. Crazy, 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 crazy. Well, congrats, torzsi. He did move up, but I'm sure he wanted to go up even further. But still, congrats. Let me know in the comments below if you guys also think you had him above Nico and if you guys had him at 17 or if you guys had him higher, lower, or what.